Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? Well, between a little bit of work and thunderstorms, heavy rains, it's been 3 or 4 days since I've been able to go riding. And I don't mind telling you, it's been utter agony. How very cruel the world can be sometimes. Okay, well, I got a little subject to talk about, and it's actually been building up in me for probably since I got on YouTube in January, the end of January this year. Fine, call me a late bloomer, I don't care. I've noticed things have really changed with motorcycling. And one of the biggest changes is, back in my heyday, that's right, I said heyday, I always heard about motorcycle gangs terrorizing little towns and taking over highways and all that, and that hasn't changed. There's still that going on. What's changed is the bikers, the style of bike basically that's the riders on doing this terrorizing. And I know it, I knew it before I got on YouTube, but the headlines have gotten really out there. There's more and more of them. My biggest curiosity about this is whether the general public really realizes that when they read a headline about a motorcycle group taking over a highway or disrupting, sometimes even being destructive in a small town, do they realize the difference between now and 20 years ago? 20 years ago, it was biker gangs on cruisers and all that kind of stuff. Well, that, you and I both know that's not the case today. But anyways, my curiosity peaked to the point where a while back I sent out a survey. I did a cross-section demographics with exactly 3,000 readers of my email newsletters and email bulletins that I send out to a very, very large database. So I got surveys back about 2 nights ago. I didn't get the surveys back. I got the net results from the survey back, and I gave them 3 different style of bikes to choose from. And I was pleasantly surprised that the general public really does realize the difference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that survey, and I'm going to just highlight some of the stuff I've done. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the current headlines that I've come across when I read the news in the morning. And then I'll go through the survey, and then I'll show you some pictures of exactly what's going on in our world. So here you go. Well, these are some of the headlines that I keep running across, these type of headlines you can see here. Next, I'm going to show you the results from the survey that I sent out. These are the survey results that I sent out, asking 3,000 of my newsletter email readers. And the question was, what style of motorbikes do the bike gangs of today ride? And sent out 3,000. I ended up getting these results are based on 2,671 surveys that were returned. I showed them 3 different styles of bike, and I'll show you that next. I'll show you the actual survey. Bike style number 1, 29 folks said yes, that's a style that the biker gangs of today ride. There were 125 people that returned the survey but said they were undecided. Bike style number 2, there were 199 folks that said that's the style of bike that the biker gangs of today ride, and overwhelmingly bike style number 3 had 2,319 folks said yes, that's a style of bike that the biker gangs of today are riding. And that sort of surprised me. I expected most folks to know, but I didn't expect that high of a percentage, slice of the pie, whatever chart you want to use. Kind of surprising. It was a one-question survey. What style of motorbikes do the biker gangs of today ride? Bike style number 1 was a cruiser. Now, I expected a lot of people to say this, maybe remembered in past days. Bike style number 2, the sport bike. I didn't really expect anybody to say sport bike, or hardly that many, because, the sport bikers, they're pretty conservative in their riding, and you don't really see any trouble with them. Bike style number 3, now obviously you and I realize this is the bike style. Minibike gangs have a very diverse membership. From the very young right through to senior citizens, and it's not predominantly any particular age group. In fact, as you can see here, in many cases entire families are members of these minibike gangs. Mom, dad, the kids, all of them. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's hopping on a mini bike, but whatever it is, it just turns them into animals. I don't know what the deal is. Next, I'm going to show you an example of a mini bike gang. Now, I don't mean to single out any particular mini bike gang, but this particular gang is notorious. They're well known. It's the Lollipop Kids, and they're based out of Munchkinville. And this is just one picture of a segment of the gang rolling into a small town in USA. And the thing about these mini bike gangs is the police in the United States, they haven't charged a single member of any of the gangs throughout any of the states in the United States. And the deal with that is they can't catch them. I mean, the police, come within 2 feet of one of them and they're gone, and they can go anywhere. I mean, they cruise under semis, they go into the woods where you can hardly even walk. They just cross mediums. There's just no catching them with the way that our police force is today. I'm going to show you an example of what happens when one of these gangs actually, comes into a town. Okay, this is an extreme example, but this is a little town that they were actually celebrating their annual Sasquatch sighting festival, and a little mini bike gang came in, spent a 3-day weekend in there, and when they left, you see what the town looked like after they left. And again, this is an extreme example, but this has been going on around the world, and this just one example. If this wasn't a video, I'd be able to show you, hundreds upon hundreds of examples, but it'd take hours, so yeah, I can't do that. Now, the problem's really peaking in the U.S. now. In Europe and many other countries overseas or continents, Australia, they have figured out how to handle this problem. And I expect that by example, their example, we'll be seeing a lot of what they did. We'll be seeing in the United States in the near future, and I'll show you that now. Okay, well, what so many countries around the world have done is they're arming their police force with mini bikes. They put them in the trunk or the boot of their police cruisers, and when they come upon a group, they hop on these and they're able to go anywhere that they go. These are highly trained officers that ride mini bikes. You know, half of the time that they're on duty is just training on these mini bikes. And in fact, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, many police forces not only have them in their cruisers, but they have departments that all they do is they cruise the highways and roadways on mini bikes. And this has been working. This has been working all over. I haven't seen the U.S. doing this yet, but it's coming, I'm sure. And this is all but done away with these mini bike gangs in the UK, Australia. I know the Dutch are using this and have police forces doing this. So really, basically all over the world. And again, I anticipate the U.S. will follow this trend and start to alleviate the problem. I mean, it is a problem. And I know that the vast majority of motorcyclists in our community are all for this. You know, we need to address this problem and nip it. So there you go. Okay, well, that's the results. That's some examples of what's going on in our communities. And again, I'm pleasantly surprised that the general public overwhelmingly knows the style of bikers, the groups that are currently giving, anybody on two wheels, making it hard for them to be welcome on the highways. Well, after this expose, I'm not sure how popular I'll be, but I just felt like I had to do it. So, whether or not you enjoyed this or not, I hope it was informative, and like most of my work, I hope you take it to heart. That's it. Ride safe out there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.